Hello, hello, and welcome to the first ever podcast of More or Less It. This is the More or Less It podcast, and this is More or Less It. I'll be your comptroller, Justin. My co-hosts won't be here today. This is more or less just a technical test, getting things set up and just testing out the equipment, our desk, our cameras, all our equipment. Uh, what else? What else? I've got a 3D printer. I'm real big into 3D printing, so as you can see, I've got some characters sitting around here just for some ambiance, little ambiance, just to some visual cues as to you know what we're about, which is none of these things. We're not really about Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Naruto, or My Neighbor Totoro, but I personally am a big fan of all of those things. Um, I got a couple books here that I've been reading. Walden and Ready Player Two. I don't know if you've read Ready Player One. Fuck the movie. The movie sucked. The books are great. The author who wrote the books does a good. The books are a lot dirtier, a lot more morbid, and a lot sexier than the movie. The movie, of course, had a lot of issues with copyrights because the book is about just a bunch of copyrighted stuff, really, from the '80s mostly. So when you got to the movie, it was all like Fortnite and Overwatch, Halo, that kind of shit, stuff that I guess they could get their hands on, or honestly get paid to put it in the movie, get paid to ruin the story. Because the whole thing is about being in the they're in the future, but the future was created by an autistic person who's obsessed with the '80s. So that's sort of the whole thing. Like they're in the future, but the '80s are in style because of the person who created the virtual reality machines was an autistic guy who was obsessed with who grew up in the '80s and was obsessed with '80s culture, movies, and video games. So they do a lot of in the book they actually play through Dungeons and Dragons modules, which is really cool. Like they actually have to walk through the modules and play them out. Which I can imagine if you're from the '80s and you read that book, uh, it's got to be just such a blast for you. Spoiler alert! But in the final fight, he's riding a famous old mech, Supai Man. I haven't read the first book in a while. It's an old like Japanese Power Ranger type mech. I can't think of the name of it, but it's kind of an obscure mech. A couple other characters. I think somebody even has a Gundam in the book, which is badass. But anyway, in the final fight, he takes out an 8-track, shoves it into the dashboard of his mech, and starts playing. What's he playing? It's an AC/DC song. I can't think of the name of the song though. It's not Back in Black. I don't think it's Back in Black. Maybe Highway to Hell or something like that. So the final fight, you're just imagining he's in this mech and he's jamming out to AC/DC, which is pretty cool. I really like that book. So I just got started on Ready Player Two. Um, I'm not very far into it, but basically the whole premise of Ready Player Two is that now there's this huge upgrade to the Oasis, which changes everything. Not gonna give away any spoilers on that, even though a lot of y'all probably won't read it, but you should. But I guess if you're not gonna read it, you can just listen to me talk about it. Where I'm at right now, he's literally chapter one. I think I've read the prologue. Is all I've read. So basically, this new enhancement to the Oasis allows them to feel, touch, hear, smell, taste, see everything as you would through through your real body, through a human body. And they're also able to record real experiences that they have in their real life and then sell or share those experiences to people in the Oasis, which are now able to relive these experiences through the eyes and through the bodies and through the nervous systems of the people who actually had these experiences. So the author specifically states that now, if you want to have sex with anybody as anybody, you can now experience that. So, like the porn industry really booming in Ready Player Two. He also, in the book, the author said that it's become a fad for mothers giving birth to record that, uh, event, and then instead of a baby book or instead of a video of the birth, you can actually experience what it was like for your mom to give birth to you. Hard pass on that one. That's some DLC I will not be downloading. I don't even want to see the video. I don't even want to hear any stories about that, really. I don't know. Yeah, I just can't imagine. Yeah, who would want? Who would want? Because you can feel everything. It's like you would actually be your mom laying on the bed with your legs ripped open, and you would feel the pain. You'd feel the pain. You'd smell the smells. You'd see it. I don't think. I don't think it can force emotions into you, but just. I mean, it would be cool for some people, you know. It would be cool for husbands. It'd be really useful for husbands. Imagine your wife is, dogging you about, you don't know what it feels like. You don't know what it feels like to give birth. You've never done that. Well, now you can log into the Oasis, download the exact feelings that she went through, and you can go through them yourself. And then you can be like, ha ha ha, yes, I do. But it's just awkward. It's just really awkward. But if you wanted to know what it was like to have a vagina and get fucked in your badge, that's something that's available to people in the Oasis and Ready Player 2 after their neural enhancement, ominously named Oni. I hope I'm not giving away a bunch of spoilers to something that people are hoping to read, but it's a fun book. I've also been reading Walden. That's an old book. I think a lot of people have read that. If you haven't read Walden, you should read it. It's a good excuse to do the bare minimum. It'll really make you rethink the whole rat race that you may or may not be in. But this episode, our first episode, is sponsored by one can of Twisted Tea. Go ahead and crack that open. One can of Twisted Tea is sponsoring this episode. Not bad. The peach flavor is really nice. I like the peach. I don't like tea. I hate tea. But the Lipton, the Twisted Tea, it's not Lipton. Is it Lipton? I'm not a tea person, so I think Lipton is an actual tea brand. I just don't do tea. But the peach flavor on this Twisted Tea really overpowers all the tea flavors, so it's not bad. It just tastes like peach. Pardon me. Also sponsoring this episode is one bowl of roachweed with a little bit of keef on top. Give me just a moment. Let me crack into this bad boy, and then I'll see what else I have to talk about here. Give me a second. Daddy needs his medicine. So this podcast is not going to be just me sitting here talking. I've got two other best friends. We've been friends since 5th grade. Got good chemistry. Anytime we're hanging out, anytime people hear us hanging out, or around us hanging out, or hanging out with us, or even just people who hear rumors of us hanging out, they hear it on the wind or something. Maybe they taste it in the soil, but they know that we're together. And people are always just like, man, you guys just seem like a couple of just like really close best friends. I wish I had that. I wish that I had friends for as long as you've had friends. And I gotta say, I think I speak for all of us, me, Matt, and Nick. it hasn't been a straight line from fifth grade to here. There's been ups and downs. There's been months when we've gone months without talking to each other over one thing or another. But the important thing is if you want a friendship to last for as long as ours has, a little bit of codependency goes a long way, and just a lot of forgiveness, really a lot of communication and understanding and willingness to, you know, understand what the other person's feeling about the situation. If you've done something wrong to somebody or somebody's done something that you feel like somebody's done something wrong to you, it's important to really consider what the other person's feeling and not just fight it. Don't like try to argue with it or try to make sense of it. Don't try to, you know, don't try to say, yeah, well, you feel this way, but you shouldn't because, or whatever. Just if somebody tells you they feel a certain way about something, you just have to accept it. And if you want to, maintain a strong bond with them, just act on, what they told you, not how you think it should be, or don't tell somebody they're overreacting or you're being a little bitch. Maybe they are, maybe they are, but uh, that's not what's important. Unless you want to, you can maintain relationships or you can be right all the time. I don't think you can do both. I don't think you can be right all the time and keep strong bonds with people. Sometimes you just have to, it's pathos versus logos. Sometimes you have to go with the pathos. You have to accept the pathos for what it is. And so we're pretty much, brothers in arms at this point. We've been through it all. We've had our first drinks together. We didn't have our first smokes together, but we all sort of did that on our own and tried not to negatively influence each other, but maybe we did a little bit. No. Oops. Let me see. This is something that we're gonna have to get used to. The dexterity of the desk. Let me take another hit here. There's the flavor. So, what do we have to talk about? Talked about our sponsors. This bowl of weed, which actually I need to smoke this up real quick because roach weed's not really something you can just smoke and sit down. Excuse me. Excuse me. What else do we have to talk about? Me and landlord Greg went and rode pit bikes yesterday with my dad. That was fun. We like to go ride pit bikes through the woods. That's my favorite way of riding a pit bike, honestly. Getting on the Honda or the Kawasaki. We ride, like I said, pit bikes with small bikes, but we do bore them all out. Our 50s are 70s, our 70s are 90s, our 90s are 120s. I mean, obviously, there's not really any 70cc bikes that you can go get or 90s, but most things start as a 50 or a 120, something like that. But we bore them out, and when I say we, I mean my dad. My dad does all the work for the bikes. I try to help as much as I can, but I should probably help more, especially since we went riding out at Boogieville in Oklahoma yesterday, and I think we broke two of the bikes. I smashed mine into a tree, bent the brake pedal up underneath the foot peg. It won't be too hard to fix. What did Greg do? Oh, Greg popped the tire. Greg popped the whole tube, the whole wheel, the whole back wheel was popped. We had to limp that thing back to the truck over rocks and through some rough terrain. But it was fun. It was a good day. Greg drew blood, ticks all over us. That's to be expected when you're out here in the woods on the Arkansas-Oklahoma border, which is the area that we currently reside. who else was with us? My dad was with us, of course, and my nephew Shaden. He's a little fireball, uh, Indian little Indian stepchild, which almost as bad as a redheaded stepchild, but not quite as bad as a redheaded stepchild, especially here over around Oklahoma. You get a lot of you get a lot of Indian stepkids and stepdads. So it's one thing to watch out for if you're planning on joining a family over here in Oklahoma. But he's cool, man. He can get lost in the woods, and he just takes out a strand of his hair and holds it up to the sun, and it points like a finger which way he needs to go. I don't remember which tribe what they say he's from, but it was a small nomadic tribe. It's not one of the big ones. It's not like Choctaw or Cherokee. It's not one of those. But they said his small nomadic tribe. He's actually related to the chief of this tribe, and they helped Lewis and Clark do something. Maybe they may have helped him pack a bowl. They may have helped him, I don't know, tie up a horse or something, or maybe they gave him a map of the area. But they helped out with Lewis and Clark, so his lineage goes that far back. So Shaden was with us. He's only like, I don't know, 8 or 9 or something like that. But he goes out and races. He goes out and he wins races. Usually in these small town races, you may be racing against anywhere between 12. No, not 12. I would say probably maybe 8 to 10, maybe 12 other racers in your class. But there could be nobody else in the class. You could be just racing against your own ghost. And when you're racing against your own ghost, and nobody else can see that ghost, it's just you on the track. Oftentimes, you can bring home the trophy pretty easy. So Shaden has a lot of trophies. I'm not sure how many of those he actually had any competition on, but he did. He showed up. He showed up and he did the thing, and that's really what's important. He showed up. He learned how to ride the bike. He learned how to go balls out in the turns and over the jumps and the humps, the rough ways. He learned how to get it. He showed up. He did his homework, but you know he could probably smoke me on a 50, maybe, maybe not. He's got his whole life ahead of him, and I've got nothing to lose. I don't have any insurance though, so that's really what it comes down to when you're racing pit bikes. Is you're thinking in your head, do I have insurance? How drunk am I? Or in Shaden's case, he's has the benefit of being young and ignorant, so it's just he can go a little more balls to the wall. But over here where we're staying now, we got a lot of what I call poor people shit going on. This is a phrase that I've just coined, poor people shit. That can be anything between sitting on the road and begging, like a homeless person. So most of what homeless people do is poor people shit, but not everything that homeless people do is poor people shit. So you can be homeless and not do poor people shit, and you can be rich, or you can be well off and you can do poor people shit. So I was walking to Walmart today, which which is kind of poor people shit itself. Walking to Walmart, that's kind of poor people shit. But there's this one spot on the edge of the shopping center where homeless people like to sit and chill out and enjoy the day. They just sit there and soak up the sun a little bit. They don't have anything to do really, so I guess that's just like a cool spot for them to sit. But anyway, today there wasn't any homeless people there today. There was just bags of trash. It was like they left their luggage sitting there, but it was just bags of trash. And I know it wasn't from that shopping area because there was McDonald's bags. A lot of it was McDonald's bags actually. So it wasn't like somebody had been shopping there and they got all their bags from shopping and all their trash from opening stuff up or whatever. Threw it all in the bag, and then maybe it all blew, or maybe it was just a collection of trash that had gathered from the shopping area, and it all just like blew together and consolidated in this one spot. That wasn't it. No, there was McDonald's there, so that's how I know that was some homeless person's luggage, and they just. And what's worse is it's only about 15 feet away from a dumpster in this back alley that I walked through to get to this Walmart area. There's a dumpster. They can look to their left and see the dumpster, and they can look to their right and see the Walmart in the parking lot. And I mean, where did they go? Did they go into Walmart, or did they couldn't have gone left and just walked right past the dumpster and just left all that trash there. And if they weren't straight, that would have led to one of the busiest streets in town. I guess maybe they took their adventure to the east, but that's poor people shit. I don't care if you're homeless or who you are. If you're well off, you don't leave trash just bunched up like it's your fucking like it's your own shitty living room. And that's what got me thinking. They couldn't even take this trash 15 feet. What are they gonna do with $1? What are they gonna do with $1 if I gave them $1? What are they gonna do with $5? They can't even. They even bagged all the trash up. They even put all the trash in Walmart bags, like they're like a Walmart bag, trash bag, and then they just left it there, like a big fuck you to everybody else. And that's poor people shit. Standing on your porch and yelling at your spouse, that's poor people shit. Going into town in your pajama pants, that's poor people shit. And something you'll notice about poor people shit is it doesn't always have to do with money. It has to do with really your frame of mind, really. So like being dirty, like you don't have to be dirty. You don't have to be poor to be dirty. Of course, there's lots of reasons that you might be dirty. I like to be dirty. I like to sometimes I'll go 4 days without taking a shower. See how sticky my hair can get. See how much product I can make for myself. But no, that's usually if I'm binging out on my computer or something. You don't go anywhere. Nothing sweats but your balls, so you just get a wet wipe, dap it up, some baby powder, throw some baby powder down your pants. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, poor people shit. You know what I'm talking about. It could be you could go buy a brand new hat at Spencer's. You could go pay retail, full, like not even on sale. Go to the mall, go to Spencer's, get a brand new hat. But if that brand new hat is a Cookie Monster hat, that's poor people shit. That's what I'm talking about. What else? Cigarettes. I'm addicted to nicotine myself. I vape. I smoke cigarettes. But if you're bumming cigarettes, that's poor people shit. Obviously, you're poor. Maybe not. Maybe bumming cigarettes wouldn't be poor people shit because maybe, like, if I'm at the bar, even if I have my vape and it's good to go, I'm full of juice, full of battery, absolutely no reason I can't rip some clouds, whatever the kids say these days in the bar. I still would like a cigarette when I'm drinking at the bar. There's just there's really something necessary about it. Whenever you're at the bar, hitting your vape at the bar just doesn't hit the spot. You don't get to hold it long enough. You don't want to hold your vape for too long either in public. But when you have a cigarette and you can sit there with it, there's something melancholy about a cigarette slowly burning away. something really cool about it. Don't believe what they tell you. Cigarettes are cool, but you shouldn't smoke. Don't smoke. Don't smoke cigarettes unless you're drinking at the bar. That's what I've got to say about those. I need to quit. I need to quit vaping as well. I've been trying to think of some ways, some sort of ways to help me quit vaping. But I guess before I can quit vaping, I really have to decide, if I even really want to. And then, so I guess it bottoms down to wanting to quit, and do I really want to quit? For some reasons, yeah. But no, I guess I've got, it's an addiction. Maybe I should just go with the yes, I should quit, and just not even think about, why I shouldn't. But, what are the benefits though? What are the benefits from smoking and vaping? Looking cool at the bar. I don't even blow smoke rings with my vape. I don't even talk to other vapors. I actually avoid other people that vape. When I go into the vape shop, I go in disguise, and I use a fake ID, even though, I'm a legal adult. I can legally buy nicotine products. I still go in disguise and use a fake ID, just so none of the other vapors or vapists know who I am. I don't want to be a part of that community. I just wanted nicotine. I started smoking cigarettes first, and then vaping was just for the nicotine, not for the pizzazz, like a razzmatazz. Excuse me. What are we at? 30 minutes here. I've talked for 30 minutes. I've almost done it. I've almost done my first ever whack at doing some sort of podcast thing. I don't even know if it's entertaining. I suspect this video will probably have, in its lifetime, maybe around 100 views. I think we'll probably get to 32 views pretty quick, and that'll be me and my friends just watching it over and over and analyzing it ourselves. So, but it's been a lot of fun. I'm not sure what else to talk about. I don't know how far I want to push the envelope on our first little episode, this little test run here. We're going to try to do something every week. We're, approaching 30 years old, and have responsibilities, and it's hard to find time to get together. But I think we have a small window Sunday nights that we're going to try to get together and record something or do something. Even if we don't record it, we'll probably still be hanging out. But that's the goal, is for us to get together at this table and smoke and drink, the three of us, and just record and just have a chill time. And try to create a cool little community, of people that want to be a part of our little family, be a part of the gang. Anybody that's ever wanted to be a part of the gang, now's your chance. Next Sunday, a week from today, June 27th, we're going to get together, all three of us, for the first time with recording equipment, and we're going to try to knock something out. Hopefully everything goes to plan. We're having some issues getting 3 mics to work on one computer. I think we have these USB sound cards, and they create this whining sound. It's like a ground loop issue. I'm new to dealing with audio equipment, but that seems like it makes sense. I don't know. I like the idea of something grounding out in the wrong place. That seems like it's fixable, but I guess we have these cheap Chinese sound cards, so I guess what we need is just some better name brand sound cards that maybe have like some sort of amplifier in them, or better grounding wires, or they're just grounded, period. Or maybe we need what are they called? Those little boxes that look like uh power supplies. Audio controllers, like controller box or something. But the thing about those is it seems like every one of those that I've seen only has one slot for a mic in, and I don't want to spend $50 on each mic to have an input, and I'm not even sure if that'll work, if that'll fix the issue. So next weekend, what we're gonna do is everybody's gonna bring their own laptop, and we're going to do a Discord call with each other and just record the Discord call, and then we'll have the video as well. Hopefully everything goes to plan with all of that, and hopefully it sounds good. We'll figure it out, even if it doesn't, we'll put up what we can. We'll make the best of what we have. I think it'll be worth it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think if we can get it out there, it'll bring some value or some entertainment. I don't know about value. It'll definitely bring some entertainment, maybe some value to people's lives. Or maybe that's just, maybe that's just us being narcissistic, being kind of full of ourselves, but maybe that's what it takes. Even if we have to, even if that's not true and we just have to fake that for a little while, just pretend that people give a fuck that we're starting a podcast right now, whenever there's more podcasts than there's ever been, and probably every single day more podcasts are started than have ever been started every day. But this isn't us jumping on this fad. It's something that we've always wanted to do. We've always wanted to do some sort of show. If you look at our other YouTube videos, where every one of our YouTube videos we've been drunk in. We've been drunk and just goofing around and said, "Hey, get out the camera. Let's goof around in front of the camera and then put it on YouTube." And that's what we did. I'm officially out of bud, and that's probably poor people shit. Actually, just smoking that roach was probably poor people shit. No, not really. You can't just throw those things away. So what are you supposed to do with them? Or maybe poor people shit's just unavoidable. Maybe just something every one of us has to dip our toes into at some point. Like, I'm trying to think of something that could be called poor people shit that everybody has to go through. I can't think of anything right now. So yeah, I talked about the books. Talked about these pit bikes. Some other things I have written down here that I don't really want to get into, because like I said, I don't know how far I want to push the envelope. Well, I'm on here with no backup on day one. Poor people shit. Like I said, I'm your comptroller, Justin. Matt and Nick will be here. My co-host will be here next week, hopefully. And it'll be do or die. Whether or not it sounds great, or if it sounds horrible, there's some sort of whining or hissing. I won't post that, but as long as it sounds. And it looks like my camera just died. Nope, my camera is back on. It seems a little fuzzy. But that seems like a good spot to end it, so I guess that's more or less it. See ya.